Good morning, everyone. This is Sarah from Japan, and welcome back to another prophetic biblical read-along. I'm sorry about the maybe the timing of these slides or whatever. It was not as good as last time because I can't actually hear it very well. The laptop is turned actually down, and I'm trying to time it. I have to do it manually with my laptop mouse clicky thing click pad on here. But anyway, enough about that. I just wanted to read to you Daniel 2. It's an interesting chapter. So please open up your Bibles to Daniel chapter 2. Let's get started. If I look cold, it's because I am, okay? And my computer is cold too, so if it freezes up a little bit, I hope you can bear with me and understand. Okay, so anyway, Daniel chapter 2. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams. He dreamed dreams, plural, wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep break from him. So he had these dreams that were so vivid and so troubling that he couldn't sleep. Then the king commanded to call the magicians, the astrologers, and the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans, for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. And the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. So, okay, if it's plural in verse 1, and he says, I have dreamed a dream, then it's possible that he keeps on seeing the same dream, but he can't remember it. Okay? And my spirit was troubled to know the dream. So this is serious, because, he brought all these people, the sorcerers, the astrologers, the magicians, the Chaldeans, okay, before him. And he says, you'll get how serious this is by the next thing that he says. Then spake the Chaldeans to the king in Syriac, O king, live forever. Tell thy servants the dream, and we will show you the interpretation. That's how they always do it. Tell us. That's what palm readers and horoscope, well, not really horoscope readers, but, over the phone psychics and stuff. Tell me what you saw, and I'll tell you what your dream is. Okay? Why? Because they really don't know. Okay? We will show the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, the thing is gone from me. I don't remember. If you will not make known unto me the dream with the interpretation thereof, ye shall be cut in pieces. He's going to cut them he's going to hack them in pieces if they don't tell him. That's how bad it is. I mean, that's how desperate he is to know the meaning of this dream, okay? Ye shall be cut in pieces, and your houses shall be made a dunghill. Okay, so that's how bad it is. But if ye show the dream and the interpretation thereof, ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore show me the dream and the interpretation thereof. Okay. So, verse 10. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asks such things as at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. Of course not. Man is vain to think that he has, any kind of fortune-telling skills at all apart from God. I mean, it's laughable. I still think it's. I watch, over here in Japan, my relatives and stuff, they'll go and they'll pay actually, as much as $80 to get their fortune told to them by someone who doesn't even know God, So whatever, they're telling them, they're getting these fortune tellers, they're grasping at straws, they're grasping at any kind of hint that you'll give them, And people don't really see. I don't know why people don't see through these people. I mean, anyway. Verse 11. So, and it is a rare thing that the king requires, and there is none other than that can show it before the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with the flesh. For this cause the king was very angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. And the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain, and they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. So, because Daniel and his 3 friends, were among these wise men that were chosen by the court, they're going to face the same kind of persecution here. They're going to be slain. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, Why is the decree so hasty from the king? Then Arioch Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time, and that he would show the king the interpretation. Wise man. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions, that they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Okay, so they desire mercy from God here in their situation. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. In a night vision, otherwise dream. Okay, then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Now, I love this because it's like a prayer that we can use here. This verse 20 through 23, I believe. You can use this as a prayer. I actually prayed this morning, and it's a nice prayer, and we think we should all do this, okay? Daniel answered and said, you notice what he does first, though. He says, blessed be the name of God forever and ever. So instead of making, like, oh, Lord, I'm in trouble, I need help, would you do this for me? No, he puts God first, and he says, blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changes the times and the seasons. He removes kings and sets up kings. He gives wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know meaning, that know understanding. So, this is something we need to think about too. Like we say, oh, this leader, he's evil and this and that. Yeah, there's lots of evil rulers and stuff. But you know what? God is the one that changes the times and the seasons. He removes kings and sets up kings. Okay, so we need to be praying for the leaders that, in our country, okay? Whether they be good or evil. We need to pray that the Lord's will be done through them, okay? And, God uses evil people for his purpose as well, like Nebuchadnezzar, okay? So, anyway, he changes the times and the seasons, he removes kings and sets up kings, and he gives wisdom unto the wise. He gives wisdom unto the wise. That means he doesn't give wisdom unto the foolish, or the ignorant, or the lazy. He's not going to give wisdom to anyone who does not seek him, who isn't wise enough to seek him. Anyone who's not, lazy. They're not going to get any wisdom from God. Okay? So, he gives wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. He reveals the deep and secret things. He knows that what is in the darkness, and the light dwells with him. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God of my fathers, who has given me wisdom and might, and has made known unto me now what we desired of thee. For thou hast now made known unto us the king's matter. So let's read again from 20. This is a nice little prayer that you can add to your prayers that you might pray, along with Psalms 91 and a few others that I like to pray. Okay, so Daniel answered and said, okay, so let's start with here. Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changes the times and the seasons. He removes kings and sets up kings. He gives wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He reveals the deep and secret things. He knows what is in darkness, and the light dwells with him. I thank thee and praise thee, and thou God of my fathers, who has given me wisdom and might. Okay, so Daniel is thanking him here. And has made known unto me now what we desired of thee, for thou hast now made unto us the king's matter. Made known unto us the king's matter. So, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit. I have allergies. It's really bad sometimes. Therefore Daniel went in unto Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus unto him, Destroy not the wise men of Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I will show unto the king the interpretation. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and thus said unto him, and said thus unto him, I have found a man of the captives of Judah that will make known unto the king the interpretation. Verse 26. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, Art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen, and the interpretation thereof? Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, The secret which the king has demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers and the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. But, verse 28, but there is a God in heaven. There's a God in heaven that reveals secrets and makes known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Now, why did God reveal the dream to a non-believer, a heathen, to Nebuchadnezzar? because his kingdom has a lot to do with this, and he's in charge right now of the Jews. He could have given the vision to the Jews, but he didn't. He gave it to the king he ordained for his purpose. Okay? So, but there is a God in heaven that reveals secrets and makes known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. This is an important dream too, so listen. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass the hereafter. And he that reveals secrets makes known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou might know the thoughts of thy heart. Okay? Thou, O king, saw, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image's head was of fine gold, his breasts and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass. Okay, his legs of iron, and his feet part of iron, part of clay. Okay, then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff in the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image had become a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art the king of kings, for the God of heaven has given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven, has he given unto thine hand, and has made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. So Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom is the head of gold. Okay, that's one kingdom. So this image is, representing kingdoms of the world. Okay. And after thee shall arise another kingdom, inferior to thee. Okay, so, silver is inferior to gold, obviously. And another third kingdom of brass, okay, which shall bear rule over all the earth. Okay, so the second, king is silver, and it comes to follow after Nebuchadnezzar. That's Darius, that's the Persians, okay? King Darius and his kingdom. And then the brass is the not the Medo-Persian. The Medo-Persian is King Darius's kingdom, and then there's after that the brass, which is the Grecian kingdom, which is Alexander the Great. Okay, and he was actually distressed that he had conquered the whole world, the whole known world, and was distressed that there was no more to conquer. And he died at a very young age, though. Okay? And his kingdom was divided into 4 kingdoms. But anyway, moving on. So, where was I? Which shall bear rule over all the earth, so all over the known part of the world, okay? And verse 40, and the 4th kingdom shall be strong as iron, forasmuch as iron breaks in pieces and subdues all things. Now you're going to notice that this image has a lot to do with Daniel's dream later on, okay? Which I will explain later on. Okay, I think it's like in chapter, I forget, 7 or something like that. Or maybe later. I'm having a mind freeze here. But anyway, and the 4th kingdom shall be strong as iron, forasmuch as iron breaks in pieces and subdues all things. Okay? And as iron that breaks all these things, shall it break in pieces and bruise. It shall break in pieces and bruise. So this is Rome. This is old Rome, the Roman Empire. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. So toes, how many toes are there? There's 10, right? There's 10 toes. That means there's going to be 10 parts. This kingdom is going to be divided into 10 parts, like a foot has 10 toes, okay? And part of it, okay? Sorry. So part of it is potter's clay, part of iron. The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of iron. Okay, so it'll be strong like iron, for as much as thou saw the iron mixed with miry clay. Okay, so but the clay, if there's clay mixed with iron, it's not very strong though. I mean, there's weakness in the strong. There's strength in the iron, but there's weakness because of the clay. in the 10 pieces. This is the revised Roman Empire, or the last kingdom before, before the kingdom of God, before the kingdom of Jesus Christ, the millennial kingdom comes, okay? This is the last kingdom, because it's the feet, okay? So, verse 42, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Now, this is an interesting, this verse 43, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because I've been kind of looking at this. I was looking at the Strong's Concordance for this thing as well, and I'm thinking, it really stood out to me. Okay, verse 43, and whereas thou saw iron mixed with miry clay, you saw iron mixed with miry clay, okay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So it's interesting because, okay, so the fact that they use the word they, and then they use the seed of men, I'm not going to say for sure because I don't know, but I'm just, I'm still researching this, but are they not men? Is that why would Scripture say, mingle with the seed of men? If they're men, why would it matter? Why would they put the word they there? It would just say people will mix with each other, but it doesn't say that. It says they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. So could it be possible that these they are not men? When you read in Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 through 4, you see where Moses gave an account of that the sons of men came into the daughters. They found the daughters of men. The sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they went into them, and they mixed, and they made, great and mighty men, warriors of old. They're called, I believe, the Nephilim. Some people call them, but the fallen angels went into human daughters, okay? And they mixed with them, okay? Also, too, if you read in Luke 17, okay? Luke 17, chapter 26, I'm going to flip over there now. It says, as in the days of Noah, so shall be the coming of the Son of Man. I'm going to read that real quick, okay, so that you get a clear understanding of what I'm looking at here. Okay, so what happened in the days of Noah? Well, I just told you in Genesis chapter 6, 1 through 4, it talks about the angels mixing with, the fallen angels mixing with women, okay, and making half-breeds, really big half-breeds, giants, which they have actual bones and stuff, huge bones of what looks like to be giants. Okay, so it says, as it was in the days of Noah, so it shall be also in the days of the Son of Man. So in the days of the Son of Man, that means the end times. As it was in this period, and as we all know, in the days of Noah, after the fallen angels mixed with the people, and they created these half-breed, which were really, really evil. If you've ever read the book of Enoch, I don't know if you have or not, the people became exceedingly wicked, and they mixed with these giants and stuff, and the world became just full of sin, and it was corrupt. Even they were corrupting nature and everything, to the point where God wanted to wash the world clean. He repented of making man, and he wanted to wash the world clean, and so he told Noah to build an ark. And he made it rain upon the earth, and he washed out all that stuff, all the evil and stuff, and he decided to start over. Okay? So just look at that. I don't know. There's also another interpretation that men will be, they'll mingle with each other, but they won't cleave to one another, which that's true as well. I think, like men and women, they get married, right? They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. So that's one interpretation, okay, of they. That could be possible, is that they're fallen angels. The other interpretation is that they are talking about men, okay, and that, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another. Now, I see that a lot because, there's so many divorces, because people, even though they get married, they don't understand what marriage is about. and they don't cleave to one another. They just kind of, they focus on themselves, and they don't cleave to one another, okay? Even as iron is not mixed with clay, and that makes the family unit, that makes the marriage weak, okay? So there's those two things, and if any of you have a comment on that, I would love to hear it, okay? So, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Forasmuch as thou saw that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, that it breaks into pieces, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, and the silver, and the gold, the great God has made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. Okay, in the latter days, actually, in some writings it says to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. So this stone that was cut out of the mountain without hands, that's the stone that the builders rejected. That's Jesus Christ. That's his kingdom, and it's going to break all the kingdoms of the earth. It's going to come and smash them. Okay. Then the king. So that's why it says in 44, in the days of the king shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. The God of heaven. Who? The God of heaven, Jesus Christ, is going to set up his kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, because there won't be an inheritor. Jesus is the king forever and ever, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Okay, so forasmuch as thou saw the stone that was cut out of the mountain without hands, and it breaks into pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God has made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, the dream is real, and the interpretation thereof sure. Okay, then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel, okay, and commanded that they offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. The king answered unto Daniel and said, Of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods and the Lord of kings, and the revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret. So Nebuchadnezzar acknowledges the power of Daniel's God, but he still worships Daniel because he just doesn't get it. He's not saved because he recognizes God here. Okay, and that's something that we all need to think about too. Just because you know there's a God, and just because you grew up learning about Jesus Christ, you could know that there is a God, but if you do not follow him, if you do not abide in him, you're not his. You're not a Christian. Okay, it doesn't. There's that saying. I forget the saying, but anyway, I'm gonna go on. I'm running out of time because I'm actually late for work. But anyway, the king answered unto Daniel and said, Of truth, I'm going to move on. Verse 48, Then the king made Daniel a great man, and gave him many great gifts, and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon, the chief of governors over all the wise men of Babylon. Then Daniel requested of the king that he set Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel sat in the gate of the king. Okay? So, with that said, I bless you all in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. I'm out of here. Bye!